Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mike from M&R Automotive. Today we have a brand new 2025 Lexus GX550 and we're installing the reverse light kit. So let's see what we get with the M&R kit. You get two lights, you get two U-cradles, you get two brackets, and all the mounting hardware. The easiest way to install this kit is by installing the two brackets first. They are interchangeable, meaning that there's no driver's or passenger side, but they do have two different holes in them. One is round, one is oval. The round hole is going to go towards the bolt that we use to mount the bracket on the vehicle, and the U-cradle is going to go onto the oval end. They are step-down bracket, meaning that it's going to be positioned here on the vehicle, the attachment point, and then they're going to step down an inch for the U-cradle to sit like this. This is the driver's side, and the passenger side is going to be like this. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and remove this factory bolt. When we remove it, there's a rubber gasket and a washer. We're going to take it off. We're going to thread this through the round part of the M&R bracket, and we're going to reinstall the washer and the gasket. So this is how it looks, and there's an oval part for our U-cradle, and we're going to reinstall it back into the factory opening. So now we're going to take the bigger bolt and nut, and we're going to thread it through the M&R U-cradle. Notice the U-cradle, there's a tab. Make it go towards the back of the vehicle, and we're going to attach it. So I'm going to use a wrench on one end to hold the nut, and I'm going to tighten the bolt. Alright, now it's nice and tight. So now we can use the smaller Allen bolts to attach the light onto the cradle. So now that the driver's side pod is installed, we can start working on the passenger. Notice that you still have accessibility for your trailer hitch wiring, and it's not interfering with the exhaust. So on the passenger side, same thing. Let's go ahead and remove this bolt. We're going to take off the rubber washer and the nut. So we're going to take the factory bolt, we're going to thread it through the round portion of the bracket, and it's going to go step down and inward, and we're going to reinstall the washer and the gasket, and we're going to reinstall it in the vehicle. Alright, excellent. So now we can install the cradle using supplied hardware. Once again, the tabs are pointing towards the back of the vehicle, and we're going to use a supplied nut and bolt in order to secure it. And now we're going to install the pod onto the cradle using the small Allen bolts. So now that we like the position of the lights, we're going to fuse the lights together, and we're going to extend it to the front of the vehicle where the auxiliary switch hookups are. We sourced a 14 gauge 2-stranded wire, which means you get two power sources, one for the main light, one for the Amber DRL. And I'm going to fuse them here, and we're going to extend it using this wire. This wire does not come with the kit. You're going to have to source it on Amazon. We'll put a link in the description of what we use, but feel free to source your own wire to extend the lights to your auxiliary switches. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take off the ends, and I'm going to fuse the same colors. So we're going to fuse two red colors together, and I'm going to put a crimp connector on here. Now I'm going to fuse the white cables together. I'll put a crimp connector on here, and I'm going to do the same thing for the blacks. So let me tell you what these wires are. So the black wire is going to be our ground. The red wire is going to be the power source to the main function of the light, which is powerful white light, and the white cable is the back glow feature, which can be purchased in either amber or red. So what we're going to be extending are the red and white cables, and the black cables we can ground it somewhere close to the lights. So notice that we have to extend the red and the white cable. The only thing we sourced was a red and black. So as long as you know that the black cable is going to transition into the white whenever you guys are connecting it to auxiliary switches, it doesn't really matter what color wire you're getting. The thing I like to do is work from the front of the vehicle going backwards. That way I can stretch out the wire, start zip tying it, and then cut it off in the front, so that way I know exactly how much wire I need. So follow me to the front, and I'm going to show you how to run this wire. So now we're in the engine bay, and the auxiliary switch hookups are towards the front. So we're going to use 3 and 4, which is towards the passenger side. So we're going to start from here. We're going to feed our wire going towards our light. We're going to zip tie it, so that way later on we know exactly how much length we need, and we're going to clip it. So in order to drop this wire down the fender, you do have to come in, peel back the plastic, and just put this wire in here, and it's going to travel on the bottom, and you'll be able to take it out. There's an opening. So I'm going to feed a good amount, and then I'm going to grab it from the bottom. So let's go down and try to grab it from the bottom. So there's an opening on the bottom here, and you can just reach in and grab your wire, and you can start pulling. So now we're gonna take this wire and extend it towards the light, avoiding any type of pinch points or anywhere where the cable can get cut. Alright, so I want to show you where the wire comes out, where you're gonna reach in and grab it when it goes down the fender. And now we're just gonna go work our way towards the rear using harnesses and mounting locations to extend the wire. We're going to zip tie it on the way back. We're going to go around and we're taking it towards the axle. So here we're going to round it over the body frame mount, and we got to go around the rear axle. So this is a body mount. So we went on top of it, and now we're going to hop over on the inside part of the axle. So I'm just going to go over. Okay, so once you get it under the body mount, it's going to come out around the axle. You want to go around the axle, because if the tire goes up and down, you don't want it to go with the suspension. There's a harness here. I'm going to go around it. I'm going to keep it away from the tire. Go around this. We're going to zip tie it to the frame. And now we're going to go ahead on the inside of the rail, and we're going to drop it down. And there's a factory harness here, so I'm going to use it to zip tie my wiring. So I'm going to go on top, and then I'm going to go on top of this around the tire. So we have the wire all the way to the back of the Lexus. I'm going to go ahead and strip the ends, connect to our lights. So this is going to be the two power wires, one for the white light, one for the back glow. So now that we have the cables, we can connect them to the lights. So red's going to be the powerful white light, so we're going to go red to red, and we're going to crimp it. Tug on it to make sure you have a nice crimp. And then we're going to go black cable. That's going to be our backlighting feature. That's going to be connected to the white cables of the lights. So now let's move on to the ground, which is the black wire. We do have to extend it slightly and create a grounding strap. Got a little piece of wire. I just got one black wire from the same loom, and we're going to go ahead and strip it. I'm going to put an eyelet on one, and the second side is going to go get crimped to this connector. So here's an eyelet. So I'm going to go ahead and strip the other end, and we're going to connect it to the black cable of the light. Give it a nice tug. And now let's go ahead and put the eyelet through the factory bolt. So this is the bolt that I'm going to be using as a ground. It's right next to the tire. Now that I remove it, I'm going to put my eyelet through it, and I'm going to reinstall it. Now that we're done with all the wiring, I'm going to apply some heat to these crimp connectors so that way they become waterproof, and then we're going to start zip tying these wires all the way back to the front of the truck. So now that I know how much length of wire I need, I can cut it around the loom, and then we can connect it to our auxiliaries. So your auxiliary switches 1 and 2 are going to be on your driver's side. Auxiliary switches 3 and 4, which we're going to use, are going to be on the passenger side. Let me show you how we're going to set them up. So now we're going to set up auxiliary 3 and 4, which is on the passenger side. We're looking for a plug, that black one over there with the orange rubber grommet. I'm going to go ahead and remove it. So here's the plug, and we're going to put it on the bench and repin the ones we need. So now we're back at the pin station. So I marked on this plug which one is aux 3 and 4. Aux 3 is the top large one, and aux 4 is going to be the little one on the bottom here. So I'm going to take out this boot, and I'm going to take out this little one on the bottom. So for switch number 3, I'm going to use the same one, 621-4.8, and for switch number 4, we're going to use 627-F2.2. So let's get some wire. We're going to do 2 different color wire, so that way we can differentiate which one's 3 and 4, and do 3 red. So I'm going to fit it from the bottom. Okay, that's switch number 3. So for switch number 4, we're going to use a smaller one. So now we got this cable, and I'm going to put it in for switch number 4. Alright, looks pretty good. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to plug this into the socket, and I'm going to test for 12 volts. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and plug this into the factory harness. Now I got my meter ready, and we're gonna go ahead and turn on aux 3 and 4 to make sure we have 12 volts. Make sure these are not touching anything metal. I'm gonna go turn it on and come back to check the reading. So switch number 3, that's gonna be our red cable. I'm gonna touch it with the red. I'm gonna turn this to the ground, and we got 12.2 volts. That means it's pinned properly. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with switch number 4, which is the black wire. So now switch number 4 is the positive, negative, and we got 12.2 volts. So now we have our pigtails to our auxiliary switches, and now we just have to connect the wires that we just extended to the auxiliary switch hookups. So let me throw some crib connectors on here. That's the red cable is going to be switch number 3. The black cable is going to be switch number 4. We're going to crimp the main function, the white light. We're going to use that on switch number 3. So that's going to be red to red. So now the black cable is going to be connected to black cable. That's going to be our backlighting to switch number 4. Now let's go ahead and test it. Alright, so let's go ahead and test them. So switch number 3, that's going to be the powerful white light. And switch number 4, that's going to be the ambient backlighting feature. Wow, this is a very clean install, and they're very bright. One cool feature about it is the fact that we connected it to auxiliary switches, which means it's independent to your factory reverse lights. It's in addition to your factory reverse. You can turn it on and off whenever you want using your auxiliary buttons. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned something by watching this video and got the confidence that you need to install this kit by yourself. I know you guys are going to love it.